I'm not loud about love. I don't raise my voice to prove how deeply I feel. But when I love with my whole existence. This isn't about control. It's about choice. The kind you make every day, even when no one is watching. When I say you're mine, I don't mean ownership. I mean commitment. I mean safety. I mean that in a world that pulls people apart, I stand still and say, I'm here. I'm not leaving. I don't want to share your pain with the world. I want to carry it with you. I don't want half of your heart. I choose all of it, knowing it comes with scars, storms, and silence. You're not something I found. You're someone I chose. And I'll keep choosing you. In the quiet moments, in the chaos, in forever, I'm not letting go. I didn't fall into loving you by accident. It wasn't a moment of weakness or loneliness that pulled me here. It was a decision made slowly, carefully, with my eyes open. I saw who you were before my heart ever spoke, and even then I chose you. Not because I needed someone, but because life felt more honest with you in it. Loving you didn't arrive like a storm. It came like understanding, calm, certain, permanent. When I say you're mine, I'm not talking about possession. I'm talking about intention. I mean that out of all the people, all the paths, all the possible lives I could have lived, this is the one I stand in willingly. I don't reach for you out of fear of losing you. I reach for you because holding you feels like truth. There's a difference between wanting someone and choosing to stay with them when the shine fades and the days get heavy. I don't want to divide you between the world and me, not because I'm jealous, but because I know how rare it is to feel safe enough to be fully seen. I want to be the place where you don't have to perform, explain, or protect yourself. The place where you can rest. The place where your silence is understood and your scars don't need apologies. If the world takes pieces of you every day, then let me be where you come to gather them back. Love isn't about claiming territory. It's about standing guard. About saying, without shouting, that what we have matters enough to protect. I don't want your attention because I'm insecure. I want your presence because it's sacred. I want your loyalty, not as proof, but as peace. I want to wake up knowing that even when life pulls at us from different directions, we're still facing the same way. I'm not here for the version of you that's easy to love. I'm here for the tired version, the quiet version, the version that doubts, that hurts, that doesn't always know what to say. I'm here when you're strong, but I'm more here when you're not, because that's where love shows itself. Not in perfection, but in patience. Not in excitement, but in endurance. I don't need to announce my devotion. I carry it in how I listen, in how I wait, in how I stay steady when things feel uncertain. I don't promise you a flawless future. I promise you consistency. I promise that when things shake, I won't let go just to save myself. I promise that loving you isn't something I do when it's convenient, but something I choose even when it asks more of me. You're not something I'm afraid of losing. You're someone I'm committed to keeping. Not by holding tighter, but by standing stronger. Not by controlling, but by remaining present. If the world tests us, then let it. I'm not stepping aside. I'm not backing away. I'm not handing you over to chance or distance or doubt. I'm here because this love isn't loud, but it's unbreakable. Because sharing you with uncertainty was never an option. Because walking away was never part of the plan. Because once I chose you, that choice became part of who I am. I don't love you with noise. I don't love you with speeches meant for an audience or promises designed to impress. I love you in the spaces where no one is watching, in the pauses between words, in the way I notice when your breath changes before you say you're tired, in the way I remember the small things because they matter to you, and that makes them matter to me. My devotion isn't something I perform, it's something I live. There are people who believe love has to be dramatic to be real, that it needs fireworks, constant reassurance, endless proof. I don't believe that. I believe the strongest love is quiet. It shows up every day without being asked. It doesn't disappear when the mood changes or the room gets dark. It doesn't ed to be announced because it's already understood. That's the kind of love I give you. Steady, grounded, unmoving. I don't promise you a perfect version of myself. I promise you an honest one. One who stays even when words fail. One who listens more than he speaks. One who doesn't walk away just because things get complicated. My love isn't built on excitement alone. It's built on respect, on patience, on the decision to remain when leaving would be easier. I don't chase feelings. I choose commitment. When I hold you, it's not to keep you from the world. It's to remind you that you're not alone in it. I don't pull you close out of fear. I do it because closeness is where trust lives. I want you to feel safe enough to be exactly who you are without shrinking, without pretending, without carrying the weight. of expectations that were never yours to hold. With me, you don't have to be more. You don't have to be less. You just have to be real. I don't measure love by how intense it feels in a moment. I measure it by how consistent it remains over time, by how it survives misunderstandings, by how it softens arguments instead of fueling them, by how it chooses calm over chaos. I want to be the person you can lean on when the world feels loud, not another voice adding to the noise. I want to be the place where your heart can slow down. There will be days when love doesn't feel romantic, days when it feels like effort, like patience, like silence. And I won't disappear on those days. I won't look for an escape or a distraction. I'll stay present. Because real love isn't about feeling something extraordinary every second. It's about doing something meaningful even when it feels ordinary. It's about choosing the same person again, even when the day doesn't ask for poetry. I don't love you to be seen as strong. I love you because loving you feels right. Because in a world where people leave at the first sign of discomfort, staying has become rare. And I want to be rare for you. I want to be the one who doesn't flinch when things get real, the one who doesn't confuse passion with permanence, the one who understands that loyalty isn't loud, it's reliable. I don't need to promise you forever with big words. I show it in small actions, in consistency, in presence, in choosing you not just when it's easy, but when it asks for patience and understanding. My devotion isn't a reaction. It's a decision I stand by, not because I'm afraid of losing you, but because I know what I've found. You don't owe me perfection. You don't owe me constant happiness. You don't owe me anything except honesty, and I give you the same. A love that doesn't pressure you to be someone else. A love that doesn't compete with the world for your attention. A love that simply stays, quietly, firmly, without needing applause. I'm not here to overwhelm you with affection. I'm here to support you with presence, to love you in a way that lets you breathe, to walk beside you, not ahead of you in OT behind you. To make sure that no matter how uncertain things feel, one thing remains steady. My choice, my commitment, my devotion to you. I don't protect this love because I'm afraid of the world. I protect it because the world is careless with things that matter. People rush. They assume. They take without noticing what it costs. I've watched how easily something meaningful can be reduced to something temporary just because patience ran out or attention drifted elsewhere. And I decided early on that what we have would never be treated that way. Not by me. Not ever. This love isn't fragile, but it is precious. There's a difference. Fragile things break when touched. Precious things deserve intention. They deserve care. They deserve boundaries. I don't build walls around us to keep life out. I build clarity so nothing unnecessary gets in. Because love doesn't need noise from every direction. It needs space to breathe. It needs protection from distraction more than protection from danger. I don't guard you like something I fear losing. I guard us like something I respect. There's a calm responsibility that comes with loving deeply. Not the kind that suffocates, but the kind that stays aware. I notice what drains you. I notice what weighs on you after a long day. I notice when the world expects too much from you and gives too little back. And in those moments, I don't ask you to be stronger. I offer to be steadier. I won't pretend that love exists in isolation. Life presses in. People misunderstand. Circumstances change. But what we have isn't at the mercy of every passing moment. It's anchored. I don't let outsiders define it. I don't let temporary emotions rewrite long-term commitment. What's between us isn't open for interpretation or negotiation. It's built on choice, reinforced by time, strengthened by consistency. I don't protect this love by holding tighter. I protect it by standing clearer, by making it known quietly and firmly that this connection isn't casual, that your heart isn't something people get access to without intention. I don't need to explain that to anyone else. I just live it in how I show up, in how I stay aligned with you, in how I refuse to let confusion replace clarity. The world is full of half presence, people listening while already planning their exit, people loving with one foot out the door. I don't do that. When I'm here completely. You don't have to wonder where my loyalty is or what I'm choosing when things get complicated. I don't disappear into distractions. I don't drift toward what's easier when what's meaningful asks for patience. I understand that protecting love sometimes means slowing it down, letting it deepen instead of rushing it forward, letting trust grow roots instead of chasing intensity. I don't need to prove anything quickly. I'd rather build something lasting quietly than burn bright and disappear. I don't confuse urgency with importance. What matters doesn't need to be rushed. It needs to be honored. There will always be opinions, there will always be noise, advice that wasn't asked for, doubt disguised as concern. I don't let those voices sit between us, not because I think we're above everything else, but because intimacy doesn't survive constant interference. Love needs privacy to stay honest. It needs protection from comparison. It needs freedom from the pressure to perform. I don't shield you from life. I stand with you in it. If something challenges us, we face it together. If something threatens our peace, we address it without panic. I don't react emotionally and call it passion. I respond deliberately and call it care. I don't raise my voice to prove my devotion. I lower my ego to preserve our connection. I know that protecting love also means protecting moments, the quiet ones, the ordinary ones, the days that don't look special from the outside but hold everything that matters on the inside. I don't overlook those days. I don't take them for granted. I understand that relationships aren't built in highlights, they're built in repetition, in showing up again, in choosing patience again, in staying present again. I won't allow distance to grow unnoticed. I won't allow resentment to sit unspoken. I won't allow pride to stand where understanding should be. Protection isn't control. It's awareness. It's effort. It's the willingness to address small fractures before they become silence. It's choosing conversation over avoidance. It's choosing humility over being right. This love doesn't need to be tested to be real. It doesn't need chaos to feel alive. It does need jealousy to feel intense. It lives in balance, in trust that doesn't shake easily, in commitment that doesn't waver when things feel uncertain. I don't protect this love out of fear of loss. I protect it out of respect for what it is and what it's becoming. I'm not here to compete with the world for you. I'm here to make sure the world never takes from you what was never meant to be taken. Your softness, your depth, your truth. With me, those things are safe, not hidden, not diminished, just protected enough to stay whole. I stay because staying means something to me, not because I'm afraid of what happens if I leave, but because I understand what happens when people do. I've seen how easy it is to walk away the moment love asks for patience instead of excitement. I've seen how quickly people confuse discomfort with incompatibility and distance with freedom, and I decided long ago that I wouldn't be that person. Not with you, not with something that matters. Leaving is easy. It doesn't require courage. It only requires impulse. Staying is different. Staying asks you to slow down, to listen, to take responsibility for your choice even when the feeling isn't loud. Staying means understanding that love doesn't disappear just because a moment becomes heavy. It means recognizing that depth is built in the moments when walking away would feel simpler. I don't stay because I have no options. I stay because I've made one. There will be times when we don't understand each other perfectly, when words don't land the way they were meant to, when silence feels longer than it should. And I won't treat those moments as exit signs. I'll treat them as invitations to look closer, to learn more, to be more present instead of more distant. I don't expect us to be effortless. I expect us to be intentional. I don't believe real love is proven when everything is smooth. I believe it's revealed when things are uncertain, when patience is required, when listening matters more than winning. I won't disappear when things feel unresolved. I won't shut down and call it peace. I won't detach and pretend it's maturity. I'll stay engaged. I'll stay open. I'll stay willing. Staying doesn't mean losing myself. It means choosing connection without abandoning integrity. It means standing in truth without turning away from tenderness. I won't sacrifice who I am to be with you, and I won't ask you to do the same. Staying is not about erasing individuality. It's about honoring commitment while remaining whole. Two people choosing each other without shrinking. I understand that love changes shape over time. It deepens, it quiets, it settles into something less dramatic and more real. And I won't chase the version of love that only exists at the beginning. I'll honor the one that grows through consistency, through shared routines, through understanding that passion doesn't vanish when it softens, it matures. When things feel hard, I won't look for escape. I'll look for clarity. I'll ask questions instead of making assumptions. I'll choose conversation over distance. I'll choose understanding over pride. Staying means being willing to sit with discomfort without letting it turn into disconnection. It means trusting that working through something together strengthens what's already there. I won't leave when love asks for patience. I won't leave when it asks for growth. I won't leave when it asks me to look at myself honestly. I understand that relationships are mirrors as much as they are shelters. They show us where we need to soften, where we need to mature, where we need to listen instead of defend. I'm not afraid of that reflection. Staying also means choosing forgiveness without forgetting the value of respect. It means addressing wounds instead of burying them. It means understanding that healing doesn't come from pretending something didn't hurt, but from deciding it's worth repairing. I don't run from repair. I believe in it. I believe that what's rebuilt with care becomes stronger than what was never tested. I won't use silence as punishment. I won't use distance as leverage. I won't threaten absence to gain control. My staying isn't conditional on perfection. It's grounded in commitment. I don't keep score. I don't wait for you to fail so I can justify leaving. I stay present. I stay fair. I stay honest. There will be days when we're tired, when life drains more than it gives, when love feels quieter than usual, and I won't mistake quiet for absence. I won't panic and search for intensity just to feel something. I'll recognize that stability has its own rhythm, that peace doesn't need constant reassurance to be real. I stay because I believe in building something that doesn't collapse at the first sign of strain. I believe in choosing depth over convenience. I believe in loyalty that doesn't need to be announced. I believe that love is less about how it begins and more about how it's maintained. I don't stay because it's easy. I stay because it's meaningful. When the world teaches people to keep moving, to keep searching, to keep upgrading, I choose to remain, to invest, to protect what's already been built. I don't see commitment as limitation. I see it as direction, as focus, as the decision to stop scattering energy and start cultivating something real. I won't leave when staying requires humility. I won't leave when staying asks me to listen more deeply. I won't leave when staying means choosing us over ego, because walking away might protect pride, but staying builds trust, and trust is what turns love into something lasting. I stay because I don't measure love by how exciting it feels in a moment, but by how safe it feels over time, because consistency matters more to me than novelty, because depth matters more than attention. Because once I commit, I don't keep one foot pointed toward the door. I'm here in the long stretch, in the ordinary days, in the unremarkable moments that quietly build a life. I don't stay waiting for something better. I stay because I recognize what I already have and choose to honor it every day I remain. I don't hold on because I'm afraid of losing. I hold on because I understand the weight of choosing someone and what that choice asks of you over time. Letting go is common. It's almost expected. People treat love like something disposable, something to be replaced the moment it asks for depth instead of novelty. I never saw it that way. To me, love is not something you cycle through. It's something you step into and remain present with, even when it challenges you to grow. I know that never letting go doesn't mean clinging blindly. It means staying aware. It means paying attention to what changes and adjusting without losing your core. It means choosing patience when reactions would be easier. I don't stay frozen in the version of you I first met. I stay curious about the person you're becoming. I stay open to learning you again and again, without resentment, without fear, without needing you to remain unchanged to feel secure. There's a kind of strength and consistency that doesn't get talked about enough. The strength to wake up every day and recommit without ceremony, without needing reassurance, without needing proof that the choice was right. I don't need love to convince me of itself. I need it to be lived, to be practiced quietly, to be reflected in how we treat each other when no one else is around to see it. Never letting go means I don't disappear when things feel unfamiliar, when life reshapes us in ways we didn't plan for, when the version of us we imagined gives way to something more real and less predictable. I don't mourn what changes. I adapt to it. I stay present with it. I understand that permanence isn't about freezing time. It's about moving through it together. I won't pretend that holding on is always comfortable. Sometimes it asks you to sit with uncertainty, to resist the urge to escape discomfort by starting over somewhere else, to accept that depth comes with vulnerability and vulnerability doesn't always feel safe. But I don't run from that feeling. I recognize it as part of building something that lasts. When I say I'm never letting go, I mean I won't treat your heart like something temporary. I won't reduce what we have to a phase or a chapter that ends when it becomes inconvenient. I won't keep one eye on the exit while pretending to be present. My staying isn't passive, it's intentional, it's active, it's renewed through action, not just words. I understand that love doesn't stay intense in the same way forever. It shifts, it softens, it deepens into something quieter but stronger. I don't mistake that shift for loss, I see it as evolution. I don't chase the feeling of the beginning at the cost of what we've built. I honor what grows when two people choose continuity over impulse. Never letting go also means I protect what we have from erosion, from neglect, from complacency. I don't assume love survives on its own. I tend to it. I check in. I listen. I notice when distance starts to creep in and I address it instead of ignoring it. I don't wait until silence becomes normal. I don't let small misunderstandings turn into permanent gaps. I won't confuse independence with detachment. I respect your space without withdrawing my presence. I support your growth without stepping away from the connection. Holding on doesn't mean limiting you. It means staying aligned with you while you become more of yourself. It means being steady enough that you don't have to question where I stand while you move forward. I don't let go when emotions fluctuate. Feelings rise and fall. That's human. Commitment is what remains underneath when emotions are tired. I don't abandon what's real just because what's exciting quiets down. I understand that depth isn't loud. It doesn't demand attention. It sustains itself through trust and reliability. There's a difference between being trapped and being anchored. Trapped is staying because you're afraid to leave. Anchored is staying because you know where you belong. I'm anchored here, not weighed down, not stuck, grounded, certain, present. I don't feel the need to test what we have by pulling away. I don't need distance to appreciate closeness. Never letting go also means I take responsibility for my impact, for the words I choose, for the tone I carry, for the way my actions affect your sense of safety. I don't dismiss hurt just because it isn't intentional. I don't minimize your experience to protect my pride. Holding on means being willing to repair instead of defend. I don't romanticize leaving and returning. I don't believe love should be proven through absence. I don't create space just to be missed. I stay close enough to be felt, to be known, to be consistent. I understand that trust grows when presence is reliable, not when it's intermittent. I won't let go when love asks for maturity, when it asks me to listen more than I speak, when it asks me to soften instead of react, when it asks me to choose understanding over being right. I don't see those moments as sacrifices, I see them as investments in something deeper than momentary satisfaction. I don't hold on to control, I hold on to connection. Control weakens love. Connection strengthens it. I don't need to manage every outcome or predict every future. I just need to remain engaged, attentive, and willing. Never letting go doesn't mean forcing certainty. It means trusting the process we're building together. I understand that time reveals everything. It shows intentions. It tests patience. It exposes what was genuine and what was temporary. I'm not afraid of time. I welcome it. I let it shape us. I let it deepen what's already there instead of resisting its influence. Never letting go also means I don't abandon myself to stay with you. I remain honest. I remain grounded. I remain accountable. Holding on doesn't require losing identity. It requires clay, two people choosing each other without erasing themselves in the process. I don't let go when the world offers distractions disguised as options. I don't confuse availability with value. I don't measure what we have against what I could have elsewhere. Comparison erodes appreciation. I choose focus. I choose depth. I choose to invest where my commitment already lives. I don't let go when love becomes routine. Routine doesn't scare me. It reassures me. It means stability. It means trust. It means we've built something strong enough to rest in. I don't chase chaos to feel alive. I find meaning in steadiness. Never letting go means I stay attentive even when life gets busy, even when stress pulls focus, even when exhaustion makes effort feel heavy. I don't place love on pause and expect it to wait unchanged. I integrate it into my life. I make space for it consistently. I won't let go when vulnerability feels risky. I won't retreat into emotional distance to protect myself. I stay open. I stay honest. I accept that loving deeply means being seen, and being seen means risking misunderstanding. I don't avoid that risk. I accept it as part of staying connected. I don't let go when things aren't perfect. I don't need perfection to stay. I need sincerity. I need effort. I need willingness. I don't expect us to always get it right. I expect us to care enough to keep trying. Never letting go isn't a dramatic declaration. It's a daily posture, a quiet decision made repeatedly. A refusal to treat something meaningful as temporary, a commitment to presence over escape, to depth over distraction, to staying engaged even when the path isn't clear. I hold on because what we're building deserves continuity, because trust takes time, and I respect that investment. Because love isn't proven by how easily you walk away, but by how intentionally you remain when staying requires patience, humility, and choice.